Pantoja is defending his belt yet again against Joshua Van in the co-main event for UFC 323, and let's get into the breakdown and my best bets for this fight. Now, before watching the tape, I had a little bit of a bias to Joshua Van as he is one of my favorite fighters in the UFC. I absolutely love his fight style. I think he's a great guy, and I was looking to potentially put some action on him as an underdog. So I went back, I watched the tape on both of these guys, and I came to the conclusion that you simply cannot pick Joshua Van here based off of logic, and Pantoja is the logical pick here in this fight. Now, as far as the striking goes, I think Joshua Van is a much better striker, especially as the fights go on. Joshua Van's boxing is really the highest level in the UFC, in my opinion. I think he's the best boxer in the UFC, especially in the division. You saw that in his last fight against Royval. His timing, his speed, his volume with his shots, his combinations, all of it is absolutely incredible. And his counter ability is very underrated and very good as well. He was able to outbox Brandon Royval, who is a very, very tricky striker to outstrike, who really hasn't been outstruck in a pure striking match before, and Joshua Van was able to do it. And he just keeps improving fight after fight. He went from that Cody Durden fight, his striking looked amazing, then to Bruno Silva, an absolute masterclass, and then to beat someone like Brandon Royval is insane. We saw Brandon Moreno was not able to beat Brandon Royval as well, which just shows the level of Joshua Van as a striker at that he is currently at. And I think his boxing is just going to continue to improve, and I think he's going to be a very, very good champion for years to come. But Joshua Van has been taken down before. Now, Joshua Van's takedown defense, in my opinion, is great. His sprawls are very good, and his initial takedown defense is very, very strong. We've seen that in his fights against Cody Durden, where he stuffed nearly all of his takedowns. Against Bruno Silva, he stuffed some takedowns as well. And against Ray Saruya, he stuffed four. Ray Saruya ended up going 4 out of 19 on takedown shots in that fight. But the concerning thing to me is here, if guys like Cody Durden and Ray Saruya can even get you down, even if they don't hold you down, they can get you on the mat. Pantoja is just a different animal on the ground. And I think when Pantoja gets Joshua Van down, he may even struggle to initially get him down, but I think he definitely takes him down in this fight. You don't really get back up from a Pantoja takedown unless you're an elite level grappler like a Brandon Moreno, which I don't think Joshua Van is going to be at. At the end of the day, he has been only training MMA for 5 years. While his striking has looked great, I cannot see his BJJ being anywhere close to the level of Pantoja. So I think if Pantoja gets him down, which I think he will at least ride out positions, take his back, control him like he has done to every single flyweight on his title reign. And I think he can do this rinse and repeat for the 5 rounds. And I also think he's live for a submission, especially when he gets that back. You always know he's live for a rear naked choke, like that last fight against Kara France. So you're never safe with Pantoja on the ground. And I just think while Joshua Van can have success stuffing takedowns here and there, landing strikes on the feet, I just think Pantoja's grappling will be too much at the end of the day. And I think he will end up winning a 49-46, 50-45 decision in this fight. I think Joshua Van will have some success having some moments on the feet. Maybe he can stuff a couple of takedowns, but at the end of the day, it will not be enough. But I do think Joshua Van will be able to survive in this fight. We have seen in a lot of these title fights where a dominant grappler is taking on the striker that the striker has been able to survive the full 25 minutes. For example, JDM against Makhachev, he really didn't have any success defending takedowns, but he was able to defend all the submission attempts. Hamzat Chimaev versus DDP, another example of this. So I do think Joshua Van will be able to defend all the submissions, but I think he will get controlled for a large majority of this fight. And Pantoja wraps up his 5th title defense, which is absolutely insane. Now, let's take a look at the betting odds. Pantoja is around a -250 or $1.40 favorite. I agree with that line. I wouldn't say it's any crazy value because Joshua Van is a great fighter. I think the line is set just about right. I do think you can parlay Pantoja, or you can even straight bet him. I know the odds are pretty low, but if you're feeling Pantoja for the win, I suggest taking his double chance by submission or decision, because he really isn't a KO guy, and I don't think he's going to be knocking Joshua Van out. I think that's very unlikely. So that will raise Pantoja's price to around under a -200 or above $1.50, which you can definitely play single, which is personally what I'm probably going to do. And now these odds haven't came out yet as well, but this is odds for the over 3.5, sitting at around -150 right now, but the other decision odds haven't came out yet. I think the fight could definitely go the distance with both guys. Joshua Van isn't really the biggest finisher on the feet. He's a volume puncher that likes to get his volume going in his fights and can potentially finish guys later on, but he's definitely more of a decision fighter. And while Pantoja has great submission ability, I do think he is more likely to control Joshua Van in this fight. So if the over is at plus money or the fight to go the distance at plus money, I think I might have some action on that. I think that is a potential way to play this fight. Now, if you want all of my bets for the full card, including this fight, click the Discord link in bio or comment Discord. In November, we profited over 15 units, and we're going to do the exact same thing on these last two UFC events of the year. So click that Discord link in bio or comment Discord, and let's make you some money. Let's go.